This week on the Hornets Sports Report, we look back on football's historic contest at Kentucky. Volleyball moves one step closer to the division title, and basketball opens the regular season this weekend. The Alabama State University Hornets Sports Report starts now. Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Hornets Sports Report. ASU football coming off an historic contest versus SEC member Kentucky, joined as always by head football coach Reggie Barlow. And coach, talk about the experience of competing against the Wildcats.
It was a fun game to be a part of. Our student athletes was really excited about the opportunity to see how they measure up against an SEC team. The atmosphere was really good. Kentucky, they've struggled a little bit in their conference, but they are a formidable opponent. They have really good players there. Quarterback Whitlow, local kid from here, had a really good game against us. But in all, it was a good experience for our guys.
And to that end, we talked about the experience and the atmosphere. The day got started with a rousing pep rally at the team hotel with fans and supporters, also the mighty marching Hornets in attendance.
Yeah, that was nice. The whole setup there in Kentucky. They stayed in the hotel right next to Rupp Arena. Our guys have an opportunity to take in some basketball there. Then our fans, our alumni showing support for us with the pep rally. That was really special. Our guys enjoyed that. And then, of course, the game. So all in all, it was a really good weekend. Of course, we would have loved to been able to go in and upset those guys. But, we knew it was an uphill battle, but our guys fought, played hard, and hopefully we can get them next time.
We have the ability to move the ball, but penalties really hurt our ability to sustain drives offensively.
Yeah, we've that's been really frustrating for me as a coach. The penalties that we're getting. There were times where we were able to move the ball, like you mentioned, but we would get a penalty. There were times where we got a big catch by Bell, then we got it called back because of offsides. Defensively we had some penalties as well. So. That's kind of been our Achilles heel all season, and hopefully we can get that turned around here this week.
When you talk about that contest against Kentucky, we were able to do some good things. You had the emergence of Jamel Johnson in the passing game, called a long touchdown pass from Daniel Duhart.
Yeah, I was excited for Jamel. He's been a kid that has continued to work and stay focused, and I know sometimes it could be frustrating not being able to get the ball as much as you like. But it's about when your number is dialed up, you got to be ready to perform. And he did that. He made some crucial catches there for third down to keep drives going, and then, of course, the big touchdown. So he's doing a good job, and I think we'll try to get the ball to him a little bit more.
Let's take a look at last week's highlights versus Kentucky.
Whitlow brought down behind the line of scrimmage. On the tackle.
Here we go.
Terrell on the carry.
Look at you now.
Touchdown, Alabama State.
We'll preview football's game versus Southern later in the show, but now it's time for our Student Athletes of the Month. Artreya Lassane of cross country and Bobby Winzig of football. Lassane is a sophomore from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and is a 4.0 GPA student majoring in recreational therapy. Among her achievements, Artreya has helped ASU women's cross country to back-to-back SWAC championships. Last season, she was recognized as a Student Athlete of the Year and has been recognized at the Alabama State Honors Convocation. Winzig is a senior finance major from San Diego, California, and has a 3.67 grade point average. Among his accomplishments, Bobby is an All-SWAC and All-America punter for the Hornets, and also has participated in campus beautification, was a recipient of the Walter Payton Achievement Award, and participated in the March of Dimes run. Congratulations to our Trey Lassane and Bobby Winzig, the Alabama State University Student Athletes of the Month.
The hard work, the sweat, the pain. It all comes down to this. Who will rise as others fall? Who will leave victorious? Houston will never be the same. It's the Battle of the Bands and the 2013 Toyota SWAC Football Championship. Who will be victorious on Judgment Day?
Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Report. Alabama State Volleyball wins a 5-set thriller at Jackson State and moves one step closer to the SWAC Eastern Division Championship. Joined by head coach Penny Lucas White and Coach White, it was a great match between you and Jackson State as expected.
Absolutely, and it was a tough environment to play in. And Jackson State being at home, you know, it was even tougher. I appreciate the resiliency of our girls. They were very focused. I felt like we should have finished it off in 4. Jackson State got some momentum late in set 4, pulled it out, 26-24. But I thought Ellen Jones and Brooke Beasley, they both had 5 aces. That was huge, and I think that set the tone for the entire match, is that we served tough. Although we didn't get great rhythm, but we served very, very tough. Amber Bennett had a great match. She had 15 kills. It's like, great, Amber's back. And Tierra, who has been doing a phenomenal job for us all season, had double-figure kills, and Rachel Smith as well.
Let's look at highlights from that match and take us through it, because the match at Jackson started much like the match here. We won set 1, they won set 2. We took 3, seemingly in control, 17-9 in set 4. What changed?
I think what changed was the crowd kind of got involved, and we kind of lost perspective. I think when you can kind of control my middles, you kind of get control of my team. And I was glad that we had started doing something a little differently, but we couldn't get Mila involved. Well, the good news is that Latoya Ellington showed up on the backside, who she's in the rotation once or twice with Mila. So Mila was holding the block. Latoya did a phenomenal job on the backside, the right side. But I felt like Jackson State played well. They started serving us tough, and we kind of got a little bit off focus a little bit. But I was really glad that we were able to come back, regroup, refocus, and finish.
And you talked about that resiliency all season. Talk about set 5, all the momentum against you on the road, defending champs. Talk about what your ladies did in set 5 to pull it off.
In set 5, we started out 6-0. The girls started out, they were strong. I don't think my kids even care where we're playing, because they don't know what a home court advantage feels like. We haven't been home much this year. Whereas last year, when they were babies, when they were young and they were freshmen, we were home. But when I told them how big the match was for them to win in Jackson State's house, they kind of look in wonderment, like, what do you mean, coach? So for me as a coach, that's good. Knowing that we're going to be back there in 2 weeks at the conference tournament, I feel good about that. We're getting our rhythm back. We kind of was in that little plateau midway in the season, kind of, academics and time management and everything, but now they're starting to move back upstream, so I'm pleased.
You set the schedule up on purpose, going to Florida, going to North Carolina, hosting our tournament, playing in Arizona, playing in Texas to get us to this moment. What does it mean to be on the brink of winning the SWAC East title?
I think it was It means, we're in the right place at the right time. And I couldn't be happier. I think playing bigger teams, playing at a higher level, what it does is sets the tone. And I think it's very important that we realize that, and now it's paying off, that the kids have had to play hard for so long early on.
Alabama State Volleyball will be at home next weekend to wrap up versus Valley and Alcorn. Come out and support ASU Volleyball. As we go to break, we salute our Student Athlete Advisory Committee, who on last week participated at the Trunk or Treat event with students at Highland Elementary School on Halloween. The Student Athlete Advisory Committee is comprised of students of all 18 ASU's Division I sports and play an active role in campus life through competition and community service. You're watching the Hornet Sports Report. Follow the Hornets wherever you are. Get the latest news on the official website at BamaStateSports.com. Plus, download our free mobile apps for Android and iPhone, and follow us on social media on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Visit BamaStateSports.com/social media. Hornet Pride 365 is a new giving campaign aimed to support Alabama State athletics. For just $1 a day, you can make the difference in the lives of our student athletes. For more information and to make a donation, visit BamaStateSports.com/Hornet Pride 365.
Nanobiotechnology, it's being taught at Alabama State University. Dr. Shri Singh and his team of scientists and ASU students continue to earn national grants and invent patents for their groundbreaking research.
If you haven't seen ASU lately, you haven't seen ASU.
Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Report. ASU women's basketball opens at home Friday versus Troy. Joined now by head coach Frida Freeman-Jackson. 16th season as head coach. Does it seem like it's been that long?
Well, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. When we have good days, I feel okay, but sometimes it get hectic. But I've enjoyed every single second of it. And that's part of the maturation as far as being a coach. And I'm trying to do the things that I need to do to make an adjustment as a coach, because things have changed as far as the student athletes coming in or what have you, trying to tone down a little bit because these players not as tough as when I first got here and also when I played.
You put a lot of emphasis on defense in the preseason. Talk about what you've seen from your team in the first month of practice.
Well, they know from day one that I'm a defensive-oriented coach, and I really stress the importance of playing great defense because I feel defense wins championships. So the girls have bought into what we're trying to get across to them, and they've been working hard. Yesterday, we worked on our 2-3 zone, and we had some girls that really did some great things that they finally picking up far as making sure that we really box out. That's one of the weaknesses in the zone far as blocking out. But we're making a lot of progress, and I'm proud of the young ladies at this point.
One of the things that, regardless if you play man, zone, full court, half court, having the big dog in the middle, as we call it in Quintori often, All-American center coming back to anchor that defense.
Yes, Q, we call her Q. She's doing an excellent job. She was named Defensive Player of the Year. She anchors our defense. She knows what to do. She also helped the young ladies that just started in the program to know where they need to be. But she came to us a great defensive player, and she just has gotten better each year.
How do you balance the returning players with the newcomers with the urgency of the season right around the corner?
Well, it's been a challenge because I feel we have a well-balanced team. We're going to play a lot of girls, and with the girls, we have 5 starters returning. We have 9 returning players, and we have 3 upperclassmen that I feel that's going to come in and do a great job for us. We have Jamisha Blake. She's a transfer, a 5th-year player from Troy. We have Tabitha Bradshaw. She's right from Montgomery. She transferred from Mercer. So those 2 young ladies going to come right in and get a lot of playing time. They on a mark to start this year for us. So we're really excited about the girls that we have returning and also the newcomers.
This season, we're picked to finish 7th in conference play. The competitor that you are, how much does that fuel what you'll get across to your team this season?
Well, that's just where you picked. It's not doesn't indicate where you're going to finish. So it's a motivating factor for us to push our girls and let them know that that's the way they feel about you. And it's just a matter of us performing and doing the things that we need to do day to day.
Lady Hornet basketball open Friday at home versus Troy. Come out and support ASU basketball. Up next, we'll talk about ASU soccer. This year in the SWAC tournament, here's our player feature on the Leah Lewis.
Scholarship, and then when I came for the visit, I got to meet the girls and the coach and actually be down here for the first time, and they pretty much sold me on it. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful and these girls are amazing. Like, how could I not go here? The atmosphere is really different from where I'm from, and the people are just completely different and new to me. I mean, I like it a lot. It's definitely a culture change, and I'm just enjoying like getting to know everybody, even people from different countries, and learning about like the differences, and then me getting to tell like what Alaska is about and compare it to here. It's amazing. I've definitely worked really hard for this. I still kind of can't believe it, you know. I don't think I've earned it, shall I say. Like, I'm very modest about it, you know. Yeah, that's really cool. It's what I've been going towards, but how can I make it so I can keep getting better? And but being number 1 in the stats is actually a really good feeling. It's really cool. I was excited when I first found out. I mean, it's always been a goal of mine to get to the Division I level and make a difference, you know, try and just show what I can do, and it's definitely paying off. For myself, I just plan on improving on my game, and both technically and mentally, you know, making the right choices in game situations, and as a team. I expect us to play the very best that we've always been able to play, and it's always paid off for us, and now it's time to show it in SWAC, and I think we can. Incredible. I mean, I never even thought of it. I would just always go out there and, you know, just play my game, you know, do everything that I was taught, and I knew if I could be good enough, then I could, you know, make that kind of difference, but never did I think, you know, top 100 freshman.
Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Report. ASU men's basketball begins this season this Friday at Illinois. Here now with 9th-year head coach Lewis Jackson. Coach, does it feel like it's been that long?
Well, no, it doesn't. You know, the season has gone by, you know, pretty fast there. It just seems like it was yesterday I was hired as the head coach here. But, you know, it's another season, and we're ready to take it on.
With new rules with the NCAA this year, able to start practice earlier, talk about what you've seen from your team so far.
Well, the new rule was really good for us because, you know, when you bring in 10, 11 new guys, you have opportunity to take things a little bit slower and try to get the guys acclimated to the way that you want to play. But it's been good. You know, we have a lot of new guys. The guys are trying to learn the things, the system here at Alabama State. So it's still a work in progress, but it's moving forward.
Who are some of the guys, the newcomers that you mentioned who have stood out for you so far?
Well, DeMarcus Robinson has been really good for us. You know, he come in as a junior college transfer from Snead State and averaging about 18 points a game coming in. And he's a guy, he's about 5'10", that can really score, get after it on defense, and been doing well. Brandon Graham, also a Snead State product, he's doing well also. And, you know, Maury Strong, that comes to us from Aiken Tech, is a great offensive rebounder, and he's been showing some signs of a guy that can get some things done.
Exhibition game last week, Luther Page had a big game among the returners. Talk about him and what you're expecting from those guys who know your system.
Well, you know, Luther, he's a junior. He's the only guy that's been in the program for multiple years. And, you know, our last outing, you know, against Huntington, our first outing actually, you know, he played pretty well. He was active defensively, and he got some baskets to go down for him. So we're going to look to him for some leadership, you know, on and off the court, and then he's going to have to get the guys, you know, into a lot of things that we're trying to do defensively.
As coaches, how do you balance trying to get the new players up to speed with the urgency of the season?
It's a tough challenge, because you want to try to get a lot of things in. So what we do is try to get everybody acclimated to the basic principles of what we're trying to do, and we start putting in our sets and things like that. And the ones that are picking it up very rapidly, we kind of move forward with them, and other guys, the younger guys, kind of get it a little slower. So they pick it up as we go. But Jamel Waters has shown some great signs of leadership at the point guard. Bobby Brown is doing some good things for us. So we're excited about what's to come.
One of the best players in school history at any sport. Your name is above the court at Dunn-Acadome. This team picked 7th in conference play. As a competitor, how much did that drive you?
Well, it's motivation. We've been picked there before and have won the league. So I like this team, and, with the season that we had last year, of course, we didn't play nearly up to our potential, and, we finished, in the second half of the league. But it's a great motivation for us. We're going to go out and we're going to compete, and we're going to take one game at a time and try to win as many as we possibly can. But, it gives us something to drive for.
Alabama State men's basketball opening at Illinois and Bradley. We'll have highlights of those games next week. Talking ASU bowling now. The ASU bowling team will host its annual Hornet Invitational next weekend at the Ace Bowling Lanes. Nearly 12 teams will be in attendance Friday through Sunday, November 15th through 17th. Come out and support ASU bowling. We'll be back with more of the Hornet Sports Report up next.
This week's Compliance Tip of the Week is about entertainment on an official visit. An institution may provide entertainment, which may not be excessive, on the official visit only for a prospective student-athlete and the prospective student-athlete's parents or legal guardians or spouse, and only within a 30-mile radius of the institution's main campus. Entertainment and contact by representatives of the institution's athletics interests during the official visit are prohibited. It is not permissible to entertain other relatives or friends, including dates, of a prospective student-athlete at any time, at any site. Compliance is everyone's responsibility. Remember, ask before you act. That's this week's Compliance Tip of the Week.
Our heroes, children and adults impacted by trauma and disease. There are almost 2 million people living with limb loss in the United States. Alabama State University's professional program in prosthetics and orthotics is training a new generation of healthcare professionals to give new leases on lives still to be lived. First in Alabama. First at an historically black college and university.
If you haven't seen ASU lately, you haven't seen ASU.
6 a.m. workout. Flies. Power cleans. Squats. Dips. Hard hitting. This is what we endure. 365 days. Game on.
Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Report. As we take a look at this week's SWAC conference standings, and Coach, with Alcorn's loss against Alabama A&M, really puts Jackson State in the driver's seat to clinch the East.
Well, Jackson State has played well all season. They hadn't lost a game in the conference, and for us, we had our chance against them. We didn't win, so it's really about taking care of our business, trying to win 7 games straight in the conference. We've been in this situation before where, we had a chance to stay alive for the SWAC race, playing against Southern, and didn't get it done. So we just want to focus on, our game against them. Hopefully we can get a victory and have our 7th straight win in the conference.
You talk about the Southern game. The last 3 years, it's come down to the final minute of the game. What has made this rivalry in recent years so good?
I mean, they're a tough team, even when they were down a little bit, and you didn't think, we felt like we had the better team. I mean, those guys compete to the bitter end. We have a lot of respect for them and their program and the type of athletes that they have there. So I imagine it'll be much of the same this week. So we got to, turn our focus away from last week's game and really start focusing on the Southern team. that has some explosive playmakers, and I'm sure it's going to be a good game.
One of the top quarterbacks in the conference, in Dre Joseph. What makes him so good?
Well, one, he's completing the ball at almost 65%. He understands their system there, and then when you have a solid offensive line, he also have a great playmaker in Dawes. Gives him an opportunity to be really successful.
Defensively, they've allowed some high point totals, more than 40 against Alcorn, more than 50 against Prairie View, but they have some playmakers on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, they have Virgil Williams, who's probably the top defensive player. Their defensive line, they've got some guys that are active there, but they have given up some points, and we just gotta take advantage of that and try to score some points. We've been blessed to be able to score points this season, and hopefully we'll be able to do it this weekend against them.
One of the areas that you mentioned wanting to clean up is particularly the penalties. I think last 2 games we've had double-digit numbers in that. How do you focus on that in practice without making it too much of a point of emphasis with guys thinking about what they should or shouldn't do in pre-snap situations?
Well, you got to go over and beyond. I mean, we're going to post signs up around the locker room, all around our building, no penalties. We're going to get the officials out, some local officials, to come and monitor our practice today and tomorrow and Thursday, just to give that extra set of eyes so the guys can understand it, because it's becoming a problem, and we don't want to be perceived as an undisciplined team. So I got to go over and beyond to get it done.
And Coach, to that, then you talk about the discipline. Talk about how pleased you were with the defense, getting the goal line stand in Kentucky, really keeping them in check, and how that can carry over to this week's game.
Yeah, I think guys really stepped up. Our defensive line really took it upon themselves to get a stop there. It was huge for us because, the score was out of hand at that point, but we wanted to see how well our guys would compete to the end. And not just on defense, but offensively, our guys did some really good things. We had some guys that really stepped up and won some one-on-one battles that we're proud of. I thought Tovar Allen did a good job of blocking their top defensive end. Billups and Country, who we call Justin, we call him Big Country, of course. Those guys did a good job. Roderick Henderson, who we call Ghost, defensive line-wise, those guys did a good job, and just a good effort there to stop them at the goal line.
And with that, normally when you play a bigger team, the worry is always injuries. But I think we were no worse for the wear in playing that game last week.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You play against a team, they got 83 scholarship players. We only have 63, so they're going to have more depth. But our guys were healthy. I'm sure they were a bit sore after the game, but we were blessed to not get anybody injured.
Is that a game and matchup you'd like to continue to expand the ASU football brand to play contests like that going forward?
Yeah, I think, for the student athletes, for them to have an opportunity to play against an SEC school or FBS school, of course, they always want to see how they measure up. So it means a lot to them. For us as coaches, we want an opportunity to win. And so we welcome the challenge. I mean, I thought it was a good experience for everybody involved, and hopefully we'll have some more games like that in the future.
Hornets taking on Southern Saturday, the new ASU Stadium. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Remember, it's our special Military Appreciation Day. All military are in with a $5 ticket. We look forward to seeing you at the game. Should be an outstanding football game between two of the best in the SWAC. You can't make it out to the game. Watch live online at BamaStateSports.com/showcase. Thanks for watching this week's edition of the Hornet Sports Report. We'll see you next week.